Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. I told you once before, but I don't know. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why.
Okay, so joining us for the latest Ade Asks, we're delighted to welcome today midfield maestro, Matty Lench. Lenchy, welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me. Here I am.
It's our pleasure, mate. I hope you're ready for some of these. I know I sent you a little thing about what was being asked, but we have got some surprising things on here. I think you've been hijacked by some young ladies. Is that a surprise?
It's certainly a surprise. A first for everything, isn't there, Ade? Yeah, no. I'm intrigued. You've intrigued me. I'm not sure my girlfriend would be too happy about it. But...
Well, it depends what your girlfriend's name is when we get to the ladies' questions, because I'm hoping the question's for you when we get to it anyway. If it's for me, well, I'm in trouble more than you are. So first of all, how are you?
Yeah, well, obviously a strange time for everyone. And I've sort of, I think, like everyone, I've found it difficult at times, but you know, we are where we are, and in general, I've got it fine. I'm lucky. I've gone back to my parents' house, so I've left London, and they're lucky enough to have a garden, so I've got a bit of space, which some people don't have. So in that respect, you know, happy and lucky. Working from home, work's actually been probably as busy as ever, if not more busy. So there's a downside to everything, but no, it keeps you busy. It keeps me in with the structure and what have you. So that's been good. But yeah, I'd say much like everyone, really, just following the rules for once and getting by.
How hard is it for you as someone who plays football all the time, trains twice a week, to be sat indoors? And I mean, you're lucky that you're at a garden. I guess if you were at home, it was in a flat, is that it?
Yeah, in Clapham, I would have been. I don't know if I'd have been able to survive. Being honest, obviously I would have been able to survive, but it would have been. I'd have found it very difficult. You're right. We train twice a week, and when we're not training, I quietly actually do a bit of fitness, even though I don't.
That surprisingly is one of the questions I've got from someone actually. We'll come on to those in a minute, because I'm going to grill you first before we get to the fun bits.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, in answer to your question, I think I would have struggled more if it was in London. There's all these challenges going around, aren't there? These sort of run 5Ks and give 5, run 5, and suggest 5 people to do it and what have you, and that's keeping me active. I've had a few nominations for that, so I get competitive and my mates get competitive, so we're all out having a run. And yeah, no, I mean, it's fine. It is, as I said, it is what it is. I imagine you're probably feeling a similar way, I would have thought.
Well, I've had to get a temporary job because I'm self-employed, and I'm baking in the supermarket, which means I have to get up at 5:10 every morning.
There you go. So you're more tired than usual. There's me taking a line every day, and you're off to bake.
I know, it's crazy. It's good fun though. It's nice and easy.
What are you baking? What if I was to get something off you? What's your go-to now?
I've just learned how to put the icing on a cinnamon swirl and an apple crown.
You're making it. It won't be long until they call you Mary Berry.
I'm living the high life. I really don't know much more I can do. Talking about your fitness, how difficult will it be when you guys go back to play football? Will it take you to actually get match fit? Because there's a difference between being fit and being match fit, isn't there?
Yeah. Good question. It's a tough one because it's something we've not done. I mean, obviously, I guess you'd liken it to coming back after we only take 5 or 6 weeks off now, don't we? In between the season finishing and pre-season. And I know when we start those pre-season games, you do cramp up. And Bakes always says it, John always says it, that we keep relatively fit, or we've got a group that keeps relatively fit over the summer. But it is a different fitness, and it will definitely play a part, I'd have thought. But everyone will be in the same boat. You know, no one's out there playing football. So Yeah, I don't think it'll take a great deal of sort of training. Maybe if the odd game, maybe 1 or 2 games, and then you'll be back into it. I'd like to think that I haven't lost too much fitness, match fitness, or maybe I'm wrong. As I said, it's hard to say, isn't it? But we've been doing a bit of Togs fitness. Togs has been putting on a couple of sessions a week. So you know, I don't know. I think in general, I'd like to think we'd be all right. And Slough, of all the teams, maybe could get an upper edge because we do have a relatively sort of fit side naturally, whereas maybe others wouldn't. But who knows?
So, what's your view of the season? Are you disappointed with the National League taking so long? Because it's taken. I understand why we're doing it, but the National League seems to be waiting for the Premier League to make a decision before the National League does.
I don't know. I think it's very easy to criticise. They've not had this before. No one's. This really is. They all say the buzzword is unprecedented, and I mean it's difficult, isn't it? I like the fact that if I'm being honest, and maybe I'll be in the minority, that they have taken the time with it, because I would like to see, and I imagine this might be something you'd ask, but I'd like to see the season finished in some way. I think, look, I'm not a chairman. I don't look after the finances of a club, and I wouldn't profess to understand the ins and outs of the financial rigours that they'll be coming under. But I'd imagine there'll be a few that have invested heavily in our league and in all the leagues who have done well and would like to think that they deserve the opportunity, having invested heavily and done well, to get the season to an end and to a fair end, just end. What that is and what that looks like, I don't know. I've got an idea, but maybe not. Who knows? So no, it's the answer.
So if they turned around tomorrow and said, right, season's ended, but you had the playoffs, would you be happy with that?
Yeah. I mean, but I'd selfishly be happy with that. If we were sitting in 14th and we weren't going down, well, wherever really below the playoffs, because you're not going to go down with what's happened below us. You probably are hoping that it ends and you can just have a prolonged break and prepare for next season. But we're not in that position. We're fifth, and I think we're fifth, and we've done well all season. And I like to think we deserve a stab at the playoffs. And if that means doing a sort of points per game decision, where I don't know where that. I think that probably live. I don't know. I haven't actually looked at the league in that much detail, but I imagine we're definitely be in the playoffs. If they did a points per game and then had the playoffs as was, then I think that would be a fairer way of deciding it. Does that mean Wealdstone go up automatically when they're only 3 points ahead now, but they've been up ahead for the whole season? Probably. I'll probably say they have been the best team, and maybe they deserve that. But yeah, I'd go towards a points per game model, but I might be in the minority. What would you do?
Well, the thing is, I think clubs so much depend. There's teams like Hungerford and all that kind of stuff. They need that match day revenue. If you now play the remaining 9 games in a short space of time, say a month, then people aren't going to go to all of those games because a lot of people don't have money. So I think end it now and do the playoffs, as you say, points per game, because it's going to be so hard.
Is there not an argument a reduced crowd is better than no crowd and no game? I mean,
you could stream the games if you were doing it behind closed doors, and then clubs could get revenue from the streaming.
Yeah, hard sell, I think. I'd be inclined to think I might be wrong. I don't think the season will finish with us playing the remainder of the games and the playoffs. I don't think that will happen. But if you were a club struggling, even if your gate was down 30%, you're still getting a gate that you weren't going to get if it all goes wrong. Obviously, then comes into playing the players and what have you. But I don't know what every club's done on that. So it's difficult to say. Different clubs will have different situations and different thoughts. But my thought is finish the season, play the playoffs, and see if Slough can get up.
Right. I want to ask you about Weymouth. with the fact that the Premier League and the EFL were finished, the leagues below us didn't play, do you think it was the right decision to play that extra game at Weymouth?
Probably in hindsight, you'd have to say no. It wasn't. At the time, I had no problem with it. So it'd be wrong for me to say no. I wouldn't be on my keyboard typing away, saying the league are a disgrace. We went down there. The reality is, no one that we know of, and I may well be wrong again, but no one got coronavirus, certainly in the two teams. So I don't think it probably was the right decision. I don't think they'd do it again. I think they would have suspended the game if they had the benefit of hindsight, but suspended the league. Sorry, but it went ahead, and I don't know that there was too much trouble off the back of it. I think a bigger problem for potentially Cheltenham rather than Weymouth, Slough.
Yeah, true. But I guess as players, though, you guys want to play football, don't you? So you would have played.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it until the end. Yeah, no. Look, everyone turns up. Like, at the end of the day, yes, we get paid. We get paid to play football, which is amazing. But we play because we enjoy it. So, and anyone who tells you differently, I think's probably not telling the total truth. So yeah, no, look, I wanted to play. Slough had a great season, didn't we? So why not? It was a game to go, I think, ahead of Weymouth. And yeah, if it had gone better, I'd have been happy as Larry. So yeah, I was happy to play. Is the answer, really.
And how hard was it? Difficult? We've just had Easter. We should have been away to Bath, home to Dulwich Hamlet. I mean, and you're sat at home at Easter. I guess the only time you've ever done it is if you're injured, and of course you can't go out and enjoy it.
No, it's a shame. There has been periods, certainly before I was at Slough, I went off travelling and what have you. I have been known for enjoying adventures elsewhere, outside of football. And God, I'd do anything, like anyone, for sort of 6 weeks off in the middle of the season to go and have a laugh. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't. But when it's not here, and you've got neither, you know, you do notice how much you enjoy football. I think you probably do, like everyone does. You take things for granted. You probably take talking on the radio, on Rebels radio, for granted potentially. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I at times I'd be guilty of taking football for granted, and this has sort of put it into perspective and shown how much certainly I value the game, and I imagine the other lads do as well.
It's a crazy situation, isn't it? That midway through a season, you're stopping when you're in a flow. You're good. You're high in the league. Confidence is high. You're fit, and you've got to stop it. It's a crazy situation we're in, isn't it?
Yeah. There's nothing more to say. There's nothing that anyone can do about it. You just hope that in the next 2 or 3 weeks that we begin to see progress. I didn't see the report from today at 5, but that hopefully we're moving in the right direction. You'd like to think, with having everyone in isolation for 3 weeks, you'd be beginning to see an upward curve or a downward curve, is what we're looking for. So yeah, it's been difficult. It is difficult. It's not ideal for anyone. No one could have planned it, but we are where we are. We just got to make the best of it, haven't we? And you have, because you're a baker now.
Well, this is and a quiz master. You're missing the quizzes as well.
Okay. To be fair, that's one thing that's come out of this, Ade. I have done more quizzes in the last 4 weeks than I've done in my lifetime by 10 times. Honestly, they're on every night.
Yeah, well, we're on Tuesday nights. If you,
I'm there. I'll be there next Tuesday.
Right. Talking about crazy situations, one of the questions that came up is the Mark Wahlberg video. Before you explain to us how that came about, I've got to tell you that my grandson doesn't live in Slough. He's 10 years old, and he came up to me about 10 days after your video went out, or Bakes' video went out, and he came up. He didn't even say hello to me. He came up and he said, "Grandad," he said, "how long has Mark Wahlberg been a Slough fan?" That was the first thing he said to me. And the reason was one of his teammates in the team that he plays for, the guy that's really good at football, had seen the video and came back and he was like, "Oh, so and so, I know he's got a Slough top," and he was really, really popular. And he wanted to find out. Did you realise how much that video was going to go? And
no, I didn't realise it. I'll tell you why I didn't realise it, because I'll just tell you the story how it happened. I'm a member of a gym called F45 in London. It's like a circuit training gym. I decided I needed to start getting properly fit, and I was quite enjoying it, to be fair. It's something to do in the morning before work, and it's quite close to my work. So I became a member of this place and became quite friendly with the two youngish lads that owned it. It was World Cup final morning, and I got a text from one of the owners, and he said, "Do you fancy coming to the gym tomorrow? Mark Wahlberg's in town and we're doing a private session." So I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. I'll come in." He goes, "The downside is it's going to happen at 7 in the morning." I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. I'll be there Sunday morning, 7 in the morning." So sort of forgot about it, to be honest. Obviously, England went and lost the World Cup final. Few tears off to, I think it was Slough Chelmsford. Played there, won. Amazing result. It was one of our better results of the season, actually. It was a great sort of ground out 2-1, I think. And finished the game, had a beer after, and all my mates were messaging me, being like, "Are you coming back? We've gone out after the rugby, and they were drinking whilst we were watching it. Obviously, I wasn't drinking because I was playing. They were all drinking in my house. I can tell Bakes and Unders that now. I wasn't. I promise. So yeah, I've gone back to London, gone straight out. I had a shower and gone out, and forgotten about it completely. And I was just going out for 1 or 2, and come 4 in the morning, I'm still out, and I'm beginning to feel a little bit worse for wear. I get home at about 4:30 in the morning. I remember, I'm like, blimey, I've got this thing at 7, and there's no way if I go to sleep I'm waking up. So I didn't sleep. I mean, might have dozed, but certainly didn't sleep. And got up for 7, got ready for 6:30, got on the train, and made my way to Oxford Circus to do this thing. Got into F45. Mark Wahlberg's there with all his entourage, and he's got all sorts there. His pilot, all sorts. And he just looked at me and goes, "Are you all right?" Because I was not all right. And I was like, "No, not really, Mark." And there wasn't. I thought that would be it. To be honest, it was nice. Obviously, I had a chat, and we did this class, and the class works how the class works. Everyone had a picture with him, and that was it. I had the last picture, and I went to get changed and have a shower. Came back in. Everyone had left, and Mark was still in there, just warming down, and bloody really long warm down, because it wasn't a short shower. And he, I just thought, I'm never going to get this opportunity again. He's an A-list celeb. I loved some of the stuff he was in. I loved Entourage, and he wrote that, I think, and it was about his life. And Ballers, he wrote, and obviously he's been in the films he's been in. So I'll go have a chat with him. He was amazing, honestly, nicest bloke in the world. And I know he's got a slightly tarnished past, but he was good as gold. And I just thought, why not try and see if he fancies a go on Slough Town. So I explained a bit about Slough Town. He was like, "What are they?" He was really interested. I don't know why. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was. But he was interested. He was like, "What do you do? Where do you play?" And all this sort of thing. And I just said, "Look, we play in the Conference South. We're doing all right. Could you just give a little shout out? I'll put it on my team group." So he did. He was good as gold. Did the shout out. Didn't think about it. Carried on chatting. And then, so after 15 minutes, that was it. Went back into the changing room, sent it to the team group, and that was going to be it. And Bakes was just like, "Do you mind if I put it on Instagram, on Twitter?" And of course not. Like anything for Bakes to get him a few followers, And he put it on Twitter, and it went even more than one of his post-match tweets that sort of says, "Unfortunately, we didn't get all 3, deserved it," but but no, this one I think got over 1,000 likes, and then obviously various people got in. I got a message that night from one of my mates being on the Mail Online. just had the thing. He's like, has this got anything to do with you? And I couldn't believe it. I came in the next morning and in the paper, and it was in the Metro. I think it was in everything. It was on the third page of the Daily Star. And Bakes obviously ends up on Talk Sport. Bizarre. It was just a funny story, and it was good fun, and hopefully it got the club a little bit of recognition where it may not have done. And if it made anything off it, if it made a bit more that week in the gate, then great. But if not, it was just a fun little story that came out of nothing.
Well, my grandson wants you now to bring him to a Slough game so he can come along. So that's on your head now. This is what you get yourself into.
We didn't get on that well, me and Mark. Marky Mark.
You're not been like messaging him or like zooming him on over in America.
I'd love to say I was, but no, I've not had a great deal of contact with Mark since. But no, as I said, he was a lovely bloke. He really was.
Excellent. Right. Wealdstone is one of the topics. So you left Slough and went to Wealdstone. So a lot of people want to know why you left Slough and why you came back.
Good topic.
Sorry.
Why did I leave Slough? Probably, I'll be honest. It was. As you know, I think when Bakes and Unders put the article out on the website, it wasn't my decision to leave Slough. We had a good season. We had a great season. We got promoted. I think I played a fair amount of games. I think maybe 50 games that season. And we've done some amazing things. We've been to the FA Cup second round, and we were on TV, and obviously the Gainsborough thing happened, and that was amazing. An incredible experience, and the whole season I will remember for my whole. I mean, it was. This season's been great as well, actually. But prior to this season, we'll see what happens with it. But it was the best season on the football pitch in many respects. You don't get promoted many times in your career. But I think as the season went on, I moved initially from Hitchin, and I was very settled at Hitchin. I was in a group of good mates, and they remain mates of mine, and we had a really good laugh. And it wasn't run really like this is disrespectful to Hitchin, because Hitchin is an incredible club, but it was run. The team we played as a sort of Sunday League side that actually just happened to be quite good, and have a couple of good players. And the coach journeys were great, which wasn't particular. You could miss training here and there. And it's no disrespect to Slough, and I've got the utmost respect for Mark Burke, who's the manager, and all the guys there. But it was just a slightly different environment, really, and they were doing brilliant. We did brilliantly. We obviously got to the playoff final. We lost in the last minute, and we could have gone up, and it was run in an amazing way. But I got used to that, and I moved to Slough, and I was also in London, and I think the whole thing moving to Slough, it was more professional, which is a good thing. If you want to be successful, I think you've got to be professional. And I moved to London. I changed jobs, and it was a job in London, and it was you sort of got to be around to be someone. And I was having the odd drink here and there. It'd be fair to say, and football was still important to me, but maybe it just dropped slightly in importance at that point. And I prioritised work a bit, and I was getting to training late sometimes because I was working late. And things just happened, and the way the season rolled through, as we got past sort of the FA Cup and what have you, I don't think I was probably, if being honest, I don't think I was probably being my best self, as professional as I could have been. I could have been doing more, being brutally honest. And although you may have seen, or some of the fans may have seen on the pitch, I was doing okay. I wasn't setting any fires alight, but I was doing all right. Off it, maybe I was, not doing enough. So we had a conversation. I had a conversation with John, a really long conversation with John. He won't mind me saying, I'm sure. And I wanted to stay at the point. And they made the decision that they were not going to offer me a contract for next year. And at the same time, Wealdstone had sort of shown some interest. It was sort of they were going alongside each other. So I sat down with Wealdstone the day after I got got a call from John to say, you know, we're not going to renew your contract. All the best. It wasn't on bad terms, I don't think. It was just at that point, I don't think I was delivering to all the criteria that they want from their players. And that's fair enough. I look back at it now. We'll talk about the Wilson thing, but if I'm being brutally honest with myself, it's turned out to be a good thing for me for a start. But also, I thought it was the wrong decision. Potentially being a bit self-indulged. I thought that was not fair. Like, I played a big part in a promotion season, and I didn't play in the playoff final, and it broke it, or the playoff semi-final. I was gutted. I really was. But looking back, I probably deserved it. To be honest, to be brutally honest, I don't think it'd be wrong to say that I was dreadful. My attitude stunk. It didn't. But it wasn't up to the level that it should have been up to, and I wasn't putting enough into a club potentially that were paying me good money to play football each week, and you've got to respect that, and you can't forget that. And I regret it to a degree, but I was also, you know, you make mistakes. I was building a career, trying to build a career, and these things happen. So that's how I ended up at Wilson.
Excellent. So I remember chatting to you at Willstone, and you said you had a few injuries in your time there, which kind of affected your run in the team. You couldn't get a decent run in the team. You had niggling little injuries.
Yeah.
What made you come back to Slough then?
So I went to Willstone, and the first thing they do, the manager Bobby Wilkinson, the first thing they do is they go take you down. He does a thing in Bournemouth. Like, just no football really. I mean, he says bring your boots, but there wasn't a great deal of football. And you get down to Bournemouth. It was a great week, incredible weekend. It was when England were in the World Cup. I think it was the World Cup quarter-final weekend or whatever. And he said, go down there. And I was like, I don't want to be doing this. I want to be watching the England games with my mates in London, having the time of my life. This will never happen again. And we went down there, and it was an amazing weekend. It was an incredible weekend, and I got on with everyone straight away. And then that week we went to Bracknell in the pre-season friendly, and I started the game. And in the warm-up, my knee hurt. It was my knee. My knee was in tatters. But you know how it is when you go to a new club, you want to prove yourself. 5 minutes in, I was absolutely gone. I shouldn't have played. I ended up missing pretty much all of pre-season. And Wilson had quite a good pre-season, and I just didn't get a sniff. They started the season quite well. Bobby played with a 4 in midfield. Greeny, who became one of my good mates there, played on the right. He was very similar to me, two up front. And he was never gonna trust me to be fair, bakes and unders don't, to trust me to just sit in the middle of the park and not run around like a headless chicken. So it just materialised as the season went. I just was not getting a chance, and every time I did get a chance, we came to Torquay, and Torquay was quite a long way through the season. I actually think it was relatively near Christmas, and I got in. It must have been a little way. It must have been sort of between Christmas and the start of the season. But I got my chance to play the right for 20 minutes, and I did my knee again, my meniscus, and I was like, oh, I've got to carry on here. There's no way I can come off again. So I carried on. I got a dead leg, the worst dead leg I've ever had in my life, in about the 58th minute, and I was off by the 60th, dragged, not asked, dragged. And I don't think I played again, really. I came on for bits and bobs, but every time I made a bit of progress there, I was 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I think I scored the winner against Woking in the last minute with a pen, and then the next game I was nowhere near. I didn't get on the pitch down at Dartford, and yeah, it was what it was. I never had a chance, to be honest, to prove myself. The Willstone fans would probably say that I was useless, and fair play to them, but I was never really given a go. But what I did do is I enjoyed the time there, with the people there. I had a great time, and still speak to some of them. But what it did make me realise is clubs are run differently, and I've at that point, I've been at 3 clubs, including Wealdstone, 2 of which, Hitchin and Slough, which were run like families really, and everything was very straight down the line, and you get what you get when they tell you you're going to get it, and they say it how it is. Everything's, if you get told on Thursday you're playing on Saturday, you're playing on Saturday. The atmospheres are different in football clubs, and I think that opened my eyes to that. We're very lucky. I've been very lucky with the managers in general that I've had. I'm not here blowing too much smoke up bakes and unders bums, because
they've got enough of that. They've got enough of that already, haven't they?
Yeah, I think they've got enough of that already. But yeah, no. Again, both Hitchin and Slough have been good to me, and Wealdstone off the pitch was great fun, but on it and the way the club was run, for me wasn't ideal at that time. But maybe that's sour grapes because I didn't get on the pitch. If I was on the pitch, I mean, they treat the lads on the pitch fantastically, but I was never on the pitch.
Rightio. Okay, I want to talk to you because you don't often tweet much at all, let alone about football. But you did tweet out about Slough fans away to Hampton and Richmond. Trying to explain it to the fans, what does it mean when you've got the fans behind you all the time? What does it mean when they sing your song? Do you know your song?
I do, yeah. He's here, he's there, am I allowed to swear? I don't know.
No, you're not allowed to swear. Don't swear.
Okay, he's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Matty Lench. Yeah, I know my song, and I know most of the lads' songs, and it's brilliant. It is brilliant. It's different. There's clubs that are obviously like Slough, and they take fans with them, but there's not many. And it just makes the whole club feel like a more together place to be. Everyone's in it together. You lose, they clap. You win, they cheer. It makes a big difference. We're not always great, and the one thing that you can guarantee away from home is the fans. They will turn up even if we haven't, and it makes a big difference. And I'm sure at the end of the season, if you could put a price on it in terms of points, it would have a number next to it. I do believe that they're great. They're great away from home, and I think they're good. The fans are great at home as well. I'd like to be louder. Obviously, everyone always says, "Let's get loud. Let's be loud. Let's be louder." There's games that have been at home that the crowd have been fantastic, but there's an element of it that players have to give fans something to shout about. It's all right for us. It's all right for us to say, it's a real quiet atmosphere in here and stuff. But at the end of the day, we're all people are paying to watch us play football. They're paying to be entertained. If we're not entertaining them, and they're not singing, then we can't really have too many arguments with that. So no, in general, massive. They're brilliant, home and away, but certainly away. Right,
let's go a bit off tangent here.
I like this.
We had a
far
tweet
away from Slough and Wealdstone debacle as possible.
Sorry, the rest of it's quite quick, so that's fine. We had a tweet from Evie, and she said, "Do you run a boot camp in Clapham?"
Okay, I know Evie. That's that'd be Evie Jones, I imagine. I run a boot camp. Let's loosest terms, right? On a Monday night. Monday night's the one night a week that I don't really have anything. We all live in Clapham. A lot of my mates live in Clapham. So one time we thought it'd be a laugh to go down to the Common, and I said, "I'll put on a session for you," and that's become something now. And they call it Lench's Boot Camp. Let me tell you, Togwell's Boot Camp is a lot better than Lench's Boot Camp. If you don't want to run in Lench's Boot Camp, don't run. But no, it is something that happens. We have a laugh with it, but it's not too serious. I won't be winning any awards or getting any followers on Instagram for my services to fitness.
Right. The next one, I'm hoping that you know who this girl is. Polly? Do you know a girl called Polly Ellis?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm hoping this question is to you and not to me. But she tweeted, "Will you marry me?"
Blimey.
So,
proposal.
I was expecting
It's not the 29th of February yet.
I know, but
We've had it. Will I marry her? I don't think my girlfriend would be too happy if I did at this point. Surprised. Open for you. If you fancy it, Ada, you go for it.
I think the looks I'm getting from my missus, I'm waiting for the laser beams to come out of her eyes at the moment.
Yeah, no.
I don't think that'll be happening.
It's a no. It's a no for now for Pole, but who knows? Who knows what the future will take.
So Sophie wanted to know how you know Roman Kemp.
Went to primary school with him. We've known each other since we were, how old had been? We'd have been 5 or 6. And yeah, we've just been mates for the duration, really. So yeah, obviously he's got a profile attached to him now and a name attached to him in terms of in the UK. But yeah, we've been mates since way before then, since he was 5 or 6 and not very good at football. So at that point, I was the cool one. How things have changed.
Well, I guess the good thing if you're friends with Roman is if the lockdown had got really bad, he could have gone round the flat and got some spiders, some ants, and some leaves and cooked you up like a 4-course meal.
Loves it. He loves them all now. He loves them all, and boy, do you hear about it. No, he did well in I'm a celeb, obviously. But yeah, he's just a normal bloke like the rest of us.
Well, that's good because Roman tweeted he wants to know what your best attribute is. I guess that's on the football field and not you as a friend.
Blimey, you'd be digging around for a while if it was for me as a friend. On the football field, what's my best attribute? It's not the way I talk to referees. That's not very good. That needs to change. I don't know. I'm relatively composed on the ball, I think. I might be giving myself too much kudos. I'm not very good with it, but I'm relatively composed on it. Yeah, that probably a bit of composure. Not got a bad first touch.
You're modest. You're very modest. Right, next one. If you were going to sign for a Premier League club, who would it be and why?
Fulham when they get promoted at the end of this season.
I know we've got a lockdown, but you'll be waiting a bit longer than that, mate.
Yeah, no. You never know. You never know. It's a weird game. Slough and Fulham to go up. You got some decent odds on that. Who would I play for? What would suit me? Not a lot of them. I'd love to play for Liverpool. Crowd, best team in the land. Crowd are unbelievable. European nights. Imagine playing for them on a European night. I mean, it wouldn't be anything like it. I'm not sure Henderson's too worried about the prospect of me coming into the squad. But you know, we'll give it a go. Give me 5 minutes. Wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it be amazing just to play for 5 minutes and just see what it's like? Just see how out of your depth you were. I'd love it. It'd be incredible. But how about you? Who would you play for?
Well, I mean, I'd only last 1 minute because I'm so out of shape. It's unbelievable. But I think I'd like to play.
I'm not having that. I've seen the way that women look at you. I'm telling you.
Don't say that. Mrs. is listening.
Sorry.
I think I'd play.
It's not your fault.
I know. The good looks is just brilliant. I think I'd play for Tottenham. I'd love to. I would want to go to the stadium that's got its own brewery. I mean, that is just.
You've studied that question. You've not. That's not off the cuff.
Right, next one. Slough playing a 4-5-1. Do you like playing in that kind of free role, like in the middle of the free, or do you prefer being the left midfielder or centre midfield?
Strange one. This season, without a doubt, I've loved it. It's given me a lot of freedom. Togs, to be fair, has a lot to do with it. I think if you'd asked me at the start of the season, am I particularly good in the hole? Everyone's always thought, he could probably play in the hole. That's probably his best position. I maybe wasn't as comfortable there as people thought. I'd never say it. I'll say it now because we've moved on. But Togs played a big part about where to be at the right times. And his value to the club shouldn't be underestimated. Like he's fantastic. And yeah, this season I've loved 4-5-1. It's worked for me. I've managed to pick up spaces and once I've been in those spaces and been in the right places, I've done okay with the ball. So and I have certainly earlier in the season we got a lot of ball in there. Obviously, as the season progresses and the pitch is certainly away from home, it's the same every week at home, but the pitches away from home get worse. It becomes more difficult to play in that position at times because you're almost missing. You're playing a more direct form of football. You have to. You're made to. If there's something that sometimes fans don't realise, I'd say that it is from the side. Sometimes pitches look like they're all right, but a lot of them, once you get past Christmas, are difficult away from home, and that means the brand of football that maybe Slough would like to play becomes difficult, and that position becomes. It doesn't mean that it's not important. It comes a different kind of position. It means that I had to go a bit higher or come a bit deeper to get on the ball, or be a bit higher and around Rob or Ben or Manny or whoever else was playing there. I love that position. I want someone to believe that I can play in a two. No one does, really. And I don't mind playing the left either. I enjoyed playing the left. Left was probably my favourite position in that season that we got promoted. And the season before at Hitch and I played on the left. Somewhere along, I've never been a massive fan of the right because I don't think I'm quick enough, and I don't know why in my mind it makes a difference, but it does. Something about the right I'm not so good on, but I've played there quite a lot, and it's probably more of a mindset than it is a reality.
Right. Do you play Football Manager?
I'm going to disappoint you here. I don't. No. That said, I did go to the 2019 launch of Football Manager, and because I work in advertising, we buy a lot of random inventory, and some of that was Football Manager, and we went to that, and I actually won. I won the competition with me and the squad. Remarkable. I was playing next to Fernando Torres, I think, on the night. It was good. That's as close as I'll ever come.
Right, in Football Manager, if you take over Slough, you have to get rid of Neil Baker and keep John Underwood. Would you do that, or would you swap it?
No, sorry, what was the question?
Would you sack Neil Baker and keep John Underwood, or would you try and keep Baker and get rid of John?
Well, I can't win off that question. There's no winning off that, is there? You're leading me down the garden path there. Look, who would want me as a manager? There's no way I'm answering that question. You're not having it. You're not having anything. That's incredibly, incredibly harsh.
You did ask for some tough questions.
Yeah. Not impossible. How do I answer that one right?
Okay, right. Best goal for Slough and best goal you've scored in your career?
So I would suggest I've scored loads of good goals. I haven't. It's probably obvious. I want to be outside the box here, but the best goal I probably scored was in that FA Cup game. The second one, I actually prefer
Gainsborough.
Yeah, I prefer the first one. I'm in a class of one there. I don't know why. No one else thinks it's good, but I think the first one's better than the second. But the second one's more sort of
theatrical.
And yeah, that's probably the best goal I've scored for Slough. Certainly the most meaningful, and probably the best goal I've ever scored. Okay. And certainly the most meaningful. But as I said, I didn't score that many before, so there's not a great deal to choose from.
Right, best moment for Slough. I would guess it's going to be either Gainsborough or Merthyr.
Yeah, Merthyr was mental. Merthyr was incredible. We've had some good times, to be fair. Outside, I mean, the obvious one's Gainsborough, but outside of that, we had some games that were incredible. Even the last minute wins. Like I remember in that season, we beat Merthyr in the last minute, and I scored that goal and missed the penalty again, but followed up. And there was so many of those games that we were winning in the last minute. So there is a lot to choose from. But the Merthyr game was a joke. I've never played in a game like that in my life. It was the first game I was on the music, and before the game, and I was on the music, and I was playing. I just thought it was all funny. I thought I'll play 500 miles and all that sort of thing. I was up for it. I was never on the music again because we were obviously 3-0 down in about 10 minutes and 4 soon after. Couldn't believe it. I honestly don't know how that happened. I didn't play very well though. I wasn't very good that night, but we were unbelievable in that second half.
There was a great picture. Gary House has put them back on Twitter now. There's a great picture when you had a shot in the last minute that was cleared off the line, and your face, you couldn't believe that the ball was cleared off the line. And then literally a minute later, you're absolutely going mental when we scored the fifth goal.
I'll have to dig that out. I've not seen it, but yeah, I mean, what feeling? I've had some good times down at Merthyr. We won the playoff semi-final down there at Hitchin as well. So a fond memories from Merthyr. Maybe again, there's not many who can say they've had fond memories in Merthyr, but Slough have, and so have Hitchin. So
best player that you've played with, best player you played against?
oh, good question. Best player I played with. A lad went travelling with. I always thought was really good. A lad called Sam Barker. I thought was really good. He never came back from travelling when we went. He's been there. He's been gone forever since then. And he was technically very good ball striker. Danny Green last year, very good. But I've not got a great roster of players that I've played with. Honestly, that's no disrespect to it. I mean, like, people have gone on to become special. I haven't really played with any, so it's a difficult one. Those two would probably be the two that have been notably good. Actually, I'll say that James Potton, he used to play with Cheshire in my early days. Unbelievable trainer. Like, in training, I've never seen anything like it. I couldn't understand why he wasn't playing in the Premier League, and he was decent on a Saturday as well. He was good. I'd throw him in the mix. James Potton, bit rogue, but with against. We've played a few players. There was a lad, there was a Cheshire again, who was playing for the Arsenal 23s, who is a pro now. I've forgotten his name, and I've never played anyone like it. I've never played against anyone like it. It was like he was Perlo. I've never seen anything like it. And then there was one when he would have gone to be a pro. I'm sure we went on a football tour when I was 16 to Deportivo. I played against Deportivo under 17s, and there was I still don't know where the ball went and how it went through my legs and what have you, but this guy was a joke, and he'd have gone a long way. But yeah, I'm not like Scotty Davis in this one. I haven't got a plethora of players. I'm fresh off the Sunday League Council field. I haven't played against anyone notable. But it's not. I can tell you the players. It's not Birdie. It's not Nisbet. And yeah, it's not Ben Harris. They're the three. It's not.
Talking about Ben Harris, I've got to tell you, if we do have a presentation evening this year, you and Ben are not allowed to sing Sweet Caroline after last year. I'm sorry to break it to you now, but the two of you are not allowed a duet on the karaoke.
Didn't enjoy it.
Didn't enjoy it. I can't listen to that song anymore.
Okay. Well, we've noted it. We'll note it. Look, we've been practicing. We've got something. Okay. We've got something up our sleeve during this isolation period. You never know. You never know what might come at you this year. It won't be Sweet Caroline though. I'll move on.
That's right. We'll let you off then. Best and worst dressed player in the Slough dressing room.
Again, you're talking about these are difficult questions because it's thin pickings on best. No, none of the lads will have it. I'll have it myself. None of the lads having that, by the way.
That was actually what someone put, actually. So someone said I had to include you, but I thought I'd let you do it first.
I'm having it myself. But only because I'm exceptionally well dressed, but there's some poor fashion sense out there. Nisbet's the worst. Some of the gear he wears, honestly, I've seen some things in my time, but I was looking, I don't know why it popped up on my Facebook or Instagram. I saw some pictures of him at a wedding wearing his sort of pink shirt, white suit or something, and skinny tie like that. You're not getting on the front cover of GQ like that. And he's a good looking lad. He's not doing himself any favours. He needs me to dress him. He doesn't.
Right. Best favourite football ground you played at?
I played at a couple of the I say Premier grounds. Watford I played at, and where else have I played? Crystal Palace I played at, but I've played at Stamford Bridge, I think. But I've never best ground. I really enjoyed playing at Woking. Weirdly, that's quite a good ground. I've not played at many good grounds. You're not in this little round. You're not getting good answers because I've not done very much. AD. Honestly, I've not achieved a great deal here.
I thought you would have said Hitchin because lots of Slough fans love the Hitchin round.
It was on my mind. I wanted to say Hitchin. I thought you might look at me like, oh God.
No.
Get over your 4 years at Hitchin. It's a different ground. It's a dreadful changing room, but it's a different ground. It's got character in abundance. I do love that place. Yeah. And the route it is amazing how they kept it up. That little section. But yeah.
Right, some quick fire ones. Minder or Only Fools and Horses?
Only Fools and Horses.
Somewhere I don't know if they know you, but your favourite Aphex Twin song?
The Aphex Twin.
That's what I said, but someone I thought.
Who are they? I've no idea. Sorry.
Don't worry. Preferred shampoo brand?
Is it Aussie? I don't know. I'm not big on shampoo. You'd be surprised by that as well. I have had some shampoos in my time that have probably cost too much, but no, I'm just on the Aussie stuff now. Whatever's in the shower.
Right. And quiz show or TV show you'd like to appear on?
I would love to go on I'm a Celebrity. I think it'd be brilliant. That'd be class. That really would be brilliant. I was watching The Quiz as well last night on ITV, and quite fancy Who Wants to Be a Millionaire as a quiz show, but as a reality show, I'm a Celebrity. I mean, that'd be an experience. I'm all for it. I fancy some kangaroo bollocks and whatever else they've got to throw at me.
And you like Australia a bit, don't you?
I like a what?
You like Australia a bit?
Oh, I do. I do love Australia. Yeah, I've spent a bit of time there. It's fun. It's a great place. They've got the sun. We don't have that, so that's nice. They've also got surfboards, which are fun occasionally.
Right, 2 questions, which are almost the last ones of the night. The first one is, would you rather go bald and score 35 goals a season, or keep your hair and score 10 goals a season?
What would you rather? Would you rather have it?
I don't remember the last time I had hair. So.
Taking the bald. Would I rather go bald and score 35 goals a season? No, I'll take 10. I'll take 10 and have my hair. Honestly, bald would not be a pretty sight. Me bald, you're not getting a lot out of that.
Right, and the last one from someone called Chris, who is one of the guys behind the goal. He said, would you rather fight 10 duck-sized Kings Lynn players or 1 Kings Lynn-sized player duck?
They've got an attitude on the old Kings Lynn, haven't they? So I'd probably go for the 10 smaller ones. You know, if you can say you've taken 10 on, it sounds a bit more impressive, doesn't it? What a bizarre question.
I know. He's the same person that gave you the Aphex Twin question as well. So I think you must have been drinking last night on the quiz.
I don't fancy my chances against a big duck. I'll be honest. No,
me neither. I wanted to ask you one last question. Your parents are very well known and liked at Slough. Is it really important for you as a player, because I guess you go home with them quite a lot after games and stuff, the support that they give you, how much does it mean to you? Because I guess there's times when you play on a Saturday and you've either played bad or you've lost, you're in the car on the journey home. Are you a bit grumpy? And
I am grumpy. I don't like talking about the games that much, to be honest. I don't win or lose. I'm not a massive fan of over talking. I mean, obviously, my parents invest a great deal of time and to be fair, money getting round and following Slough, and I'm massively appreciative to them. To be honest, I probably again take it for granted because it's what they've always done. They've always supported me. I notice it when they're not there for sure, and it is rare. I think they missed a couple of games this season with a wedding and something else, but it's nice. It's really nice. Do we sit in the car and talk about it too long? The old man will ask me a few questions. He'll say how he thinks I played, and he'll ask me a few questions, and then he'll get some fairly short answers. and my mum will say, just leave him alone. And probably if I've not got out that night or the next morning, we'll have a more of a chat about it. And yeah, he'll share his opinions, she'll share her opinions, and I'll tell them why their opinions are wrong, and then we all go on our merry way into the next Saturday. But no, the answer is, of course, it's incredible. You notice there's obviously not too many players' parents who are 27 years old who come around the country to every game, whether it be, you know, a Merthyr Tydfil on a Tuesday night or a home game. They'll be there. So no, of course I know it's there. But yeah, I definitely I almost certainly take it for granted for what it is. But they're great and they love it. And as much as I'm sure Slough people maybe appreciate them being there, and my old man putting a bit of money behind the bar via red wine, you know, they get a lot of enjoyment out of it as well, and they love the club. It's a great club. It's got great people in it. So yeah, it's a win-win. I think that one, or a win-win-win, because I win as well. So yeah, massively grateful, and they're massively grateful to Slough for the club they run as well.
Excellent. Matty, thank you for joining us tonight. I know it's broken up a little bit of your boredom this evening.
It's enjoyable. I enjoyed it.
Thank you very much for joining us. Stay safe, stay at home,
And to you.
Look after yourself.
I hope you make some nice cakes for me when we return.
I'm not going to do baking when we come back. I can't get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and be at work at 6 every time. It's too much for me, mate. I'm getting too old for this malarkey.
Okay.
Way too old.
Fair enough.
Cheers for joining us, Matt. We'll see you hopefully on the pitch very soon.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.